All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson on why the so-called black woman cannot grow her hair, right? And why they wear weaves, man. And like when I used to be younger, it was always a common thing that I used to notice that either the women in my own family or the so-called black women in general would always be wearing weaves, man, right? And I always used to wonder why they would do that and why it seemed as though men from the nation, like so-called black men, could grow hair, but they couldn't, man, and it didn't make no sense to me. But I'm going to go into it in this video and show that it's something that God did, which is also a sign that we are the Israelites. So as you can see, I've put in here, I typed in the search box, I wrote in problems caused by wearing weaves, and then all of these videos came up, right? And I'm just gonna like scroll through some of the thumbnails. It says, why do we wear weave? And on the front of this thumbnail, it's got loads of so-called black women, whereas it's also got Kamala Harris, which she's not an Israelite, man. She's an Elamite, right? Her dad's from Elam, so-called Indian. All right, and Salaki, if that's not exactly correct, but I believe that her dad is a Elamite, man. All right, now here's another video called Wearing Weaves, Truth on Weave, Cold Truth. Here's another one, why do black women wear weaves, right? Here's another reason, 6 reasons why you should stop wearing weave. Here's another one, why I stopped wearing a weave. And what that weave does, man, is it like, it just ruins your head top, man. But also at the same time, God's made you women not be able to grow long hair. And a woman's hair is her glory, man. A woman's hair is her beauty. Women that have got longer hair always look better than a woman that's got short hair. Always. If you take any woman, right, that's attractive, and give her short hair, she's going to be less attractive than if you give her long hair. Just like how if in a woman's eyes, if she was to see any man that she views as attractive, he's going to look more attractive when he's got facial hair than when he doesn't have facial hair. All right, because a man looks more manly with a beard, and a woman looks more feminine with hair. And I'll say that again, a man looks more masculine when he's got a beard, and a woman looks more feminine when she's got hair. All right, here's another video. It says, this Karen wonders why sisters wear weave and not natural hair. Here's another one, how weaves are making you masculine. The black woman's lust for long hair, and she's got a lust for long hair because Yahweh took her hair from her, man. All right, now I'm gonna say this, and it's the truth, man. The most attractive women in the world, when they're at their most attractive, is a so-called black woman, right? But also right now on the earth, it's got to be said that some of the ugliest women is also the so-called black woman, right? Now also the most proud women and the most evil women right now is the so-called black woman too. They're the most proud and the most hateful, and the ones that don't want to be told about themselves at all. And this video is probably going to trigger a lot of you so-called black women out there, man. Let me carry on this. It says, the reason why I don't wear wigs, weave, like why I stopped wearing wigs. So it's a common thing that women wear wigs and weaves, and why they're trying to, it's a common thing that they're trying to get hair, man, trying to grow their hair. It's a common thing, man. It's gross, man. What that stuff does to their hair underneath, it's like, it's proper gross. And sometimes they're having bugs growing in their hair. Here's a video. It says, what's with all these wigs and weaves? And I'll probably watch this video by Coach Greg Adams. I'll probably watch this video after I've done this lesson, man. I'm not gonna go into it now though, because I don't know if I'll get copyright or whatever. Here's another one. It says, stop wearing weaves and wigs. It is foolishness, which it is stupid to have a weave on your head, man. It don't make no sense, right? And that stuff causes more problems than it does good. And also those weaves, there was a documentary made by Chris Rock, right? A movie made by Chris Rock where it goes into these weaves, and I believe the movie was called Hair, right? But if you type in on YouTube or Google or whatever and type in Chris Rock movie about hair or Chris Rock hair movie, you will see what I'm talking about. And in this movie, they was in India, and what they did was they had a festival where they tell all the Indian women, right, which are really the Elamites, they tell all these women that they're cutting off their hair and sacrificing it to a god, which they are sacrificing their hair, right? But they're also making money from it too. So then this hair that's been taken off these women's heads that believe in other gods, right, is being used as part of a sacrifice in order to make those men and those people of that country money, right? And then that's getting sold over to you women over here in England, over to you women over there in America, which is Babylon the Great. And that's putting demons on you because it's not your hair, right? It's not grown out of your head and you're sewing it and weaving it into your hair, right? And then it's almost like it's damn becoming a part of you, man. And there was a movie out there, which I don't know what the movie's called, I forget, but I believe it was on Netflix, and it basically showed how a woman that got the weave put demons on her, man. And it was like, it was meant to be a comedy and that, but like I looked at it from the spiritual standpoint of how that hair was really putting demons on that woman, man. Right, but I'm going to read this. This is Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 16. Let me highlight this one as well. Isaiah chapter 3 verse 16. Moreover, Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, and mincing as they walk in and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Now, in the ancient world, it would have been tinkling with jewels on their feet, right? Which some women still carry that style now. They wear jewels on their feet, right? But now that tinkling and that clicking and that clacking is coming from high heels, man. You women will be walking on the feet, click, click, click. Your heels be clanking off the floor, right? And you'll be walking with a proud looks on your face, man. And I remember even I used to see some of you so-called black women in the middle of the lockdown, man. You were still proud because you was attractive. You were still proud, but you was walking around proud, man. But these are the reasons why Yahweh's caused you to lose your hair. Now, you don't have to believe it, but this is the reason why you do not have hair. This is the reason why your head top is yam out, right? This is the reason why you get all these problems with your hair. You sew all this stuff into your hair, and then you're having to itch and scratch your scalp with an afro comb. And you can't tell me that that's not happening, because I've been behind the scenes and I've saw from a young age up into an adult what happens with you so-called black women and what you do with your hair, man. I've saw you smacking yourselves in the head because your head's itching, because you've sewed that stuff into your hair. I've saw all the stuff that you have to go through to try and make yourself not look like a man, because God's made you have such short hair that if a so-called black woman is unattractive, she's damn near going to look like a man, because her face does not look feminine at all, man. Verse 16 again. Moreover, Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go and making a tinkling with their feet. So because you walk around proud, right, running your mouths, right, thinking that you can't be told nothing, walking with your chin elevated to the heavens as if you're just as if you think you're the head of the nation when you're not, right? Verse 17, therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of thy head, of the daughters of Zion. Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. And in that day the Lord shall take away the bravery of the tinkling of thy ornaments about their feet, and their calves, and their round tires like the moon, their chains and their bracelets and their mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and the nostrils. So he took away a lot of your beauty, man. He took away a lot of the things you could use to beautify yourself. And that's why you so-called black women have to go through a hell of a lot of effort, more than any other woman, man, right now, in order to be attractive, man. Right? In order to be attractive, it's a lot harder for you so-called black women than it is for any other nation of women right now, because you have to pull it upon you, because you're proud, man. And not just you so-called black women, you Latino and Native American women too. You're not nowhere near as attractive as you would be had you not been proud, man. And that's why now you women are running around BBLs, doing all these fake things to try and make your body look a certain way, because you can't have it naturally. Whereas if you went in the kingdom of heaven, you're going to have it naturally. But right now, you're not going to have it because you're proud. Verse 22, the changeable suits of apparel and mantles, and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins. So you in the past, you women have changeable types of apparel that was of your own type, to where you wasn't having to wear no heathens brands, no heathens Gucci, no heathens Prada, and all these different things. You had your own garments, man. You had your own clothes. And crisping pins, which you could use to straighten your hair, because you had long hair in the past, but now you don't. And there's an Israelite woman that wiped Yahweh Shai's hair. She cleaned Yahweh Shai's feet with her tears and with her hair, man. Verse 23, the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be a stink, and you women have been made to stink to a certain degree, man. Your hair has got a certain stench to it. Your bodies have got a certain stench to it, man, to where you're not on the level as what you're supposed to be, man. You're not on the level that what you're supposed to be like. And instead of a girdle, a rent, meaning you got that fat slut gut, right, to where you don't even have a flat stomach. You so-called black women are the ones that are the least in the gym. If you don't believe me, anyone listening to this video, go to a gym, and that will be probably one of the lowest demographics, man. So-called black women, because they're the ones that are running around talking about they're curvy when they're 5'5" and 200 pounds. When there's men that are 5'10", there's men that are 6 foot, there's men that are 6'3" that don't even weigh 200 pounds yet. So why are you weighing 200 pounds? And then you got the nerve to say, I ain't fat, I'm thick. No, you thick in the head if you think that anyone's buying that BS. You so-called black women have fell to a low-ass degree, man. And you need to fix up and change your pride. Because there's not many people that are volunteering to try and save you out of the position that you're in. And if you try and upset the men of the nation, which don't need you, by the way, to put that out there, the men of the nation don't need you, because Israelites are made based on an Israelite father, not based on an Israelite mother. So to put it into a thing, to say a term, I'm going to say something right now that should put fear into all of you women's heart, man. All of you Israelite women's heart. Yahweh could just use one Israelite man to keep the nation of Israel. If all the Israelite men are gone, though, then the nation of Israel's finished. So you women ain't got the right to be proud and try and come up against the men. When the man's the head over you, you're not the head over us. And also it's you, Israelite women. It was a woman that was the first one to sin, that caused for all of us, all of this death to come into the earth in the first place anyway. So you should be humble, not proud, man. Verse 24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well-set hair, boldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. And like I said before, when you look into the world, man, the most attractive woman that you will see when everything's on point, right, is going to be a so-called black woman. They're going to be the most attractive. But also, as it stands right now, that's going to be the ugliest. And on average, the so-called black woman right now is one of the least attractive people, man. Because of their pride and because Yahweh took away their beauty. And he also did that and did this as a sign that we are the Israelites, man. And that's the reason why you so-called black women cannot grow your hair, man. And understanding this, that should make you turn to repentance. That should make you be humble. There's a reason why there's a high percentage of you wearing weaves, man. There's a reason for that. It's because it's a curse that Yahweh put upon you. And on that, I'm going to end the lesson. Shalom to the nation of Israel. Shalom.